Why did I get into sailing? Well, growing up, I always loved the ocean. I loved swimming. I was in every swimming lesson imaginable, and my mom really wanted me to pursue something else in the summer that was related to the ocean and being on the water and being out in nature as much as possible and not inside. So she signed me up for sailing, and the first day I absolutely loved it. There was water splashing around me. I could see all these different types of sea life, and I was hooked after the very first day.
Why did I start sailing? I think it was mostly because I always saw my siblings out, and I always got really jealous of them being able to have that freedom and control of where they were going and what they were doing in the water, and I was always extremely jealous of that. And seeing them be able to control where they were going and what they were doing really made me want to be able to have that same ability.
What made me stay in sailing? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. One, and probably the first most, was the sensation. I mean, it's pretty cool as a kid to jump in a boat and be able to sail around. There's nothing like the wind in your hair and the water in your face. It's so exhilarating. You could be going like 85 miles an hour in a Lamborghini, and it's still not nearly as exciting as being on a trapeze wire with your spinnaker up, reaching across the harbor. There's no sensation in the world like it, and it is probably the best feeling I've ever had. The second reason I stayed in sailing was I really liked the self-direction that I got with it. As a kid, it's there's not too many opportunities to direct yourself. Like you can ride a bike, but really you probably can't go too far from home. But as a kid in sailing, you can jump in your Opti and sail out the harbor and go to McNabb's Island, and you're the one making all the decisions under the supervision of an instructor. But it's like you directing your boat, and that sense of independence and freedom is something that I absolutely loved as a kid and was something that I couldn't get anywhere else in my life at the time.
Why did I stick with sailing? I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that you create such a good friend group when you first start sailing, and you get such a wide range of people in your groups, and you get to maintain that all through sailing. And then you also get to meet people if you travel to regattas. I got to meet a new group of friends who I'm still close with, and then even at my own age now, I've been able to travel and sail in different places, and every time I've been able to meet and make new friends in those areas and really establish really good friendships. And also, sailing is something that you're always working at. You're never perfecting it. You're always able to do more and learn more, and I think that's kind of motivated me to always do the sport, is to always be bettering myself.
What has sailing taught me in life? Well, it's taught me a lot of different things, but I think the most important is that it has taught me to be self-reliant. Whenever I started out in basic, my instructors were always very hands-on and showed me how to fix things when things went wrong, because out on the water there's always some variable, but it was really good. It was always a safe and learning environment where I got to learn a bunch of things. And then as I got older, if something, like a sail tie comes off, or maybe my boom bang breaks, which is also something that happens, my instructors were there, but at the time, because they taught me when I was younger, I was able to just fix it myself. And I think that was something that was really important to me growing up, and a skill that applied outside of sailing. As I got older, if I ran into obstacles, it was okay. I was self-reliant. I could just go out and fix it. I would find someone that could help me if I needed it, but it was something I knew that I had the ability to take care of myself and to make things for myself. So I think sailing is a really great experience. It's definitely a lifestyle. The skills you learn in it apply everywhere in life, and I make use of my sailing skills every day.
What is one thing I've gained from sailing? Most definitely it's been the ability to think critically, whether it's in sailing or just in general sense. Sailing always teaches you to be thinking about what's going on around you, how it's affecting different situations, and I think that really helps anyone thinking critically within their own life, and I think that's an aspect that I've really been able to take away from sailing.
What's the greatest thing about sailing? I would have to say the greatest thing about sailing is that it is for life. Unlike some other sports where as you get older it becomes more difficult to keep up with the sport and continue playing, in sailing there is a boat for everyone. You can start when you're 5 and go until you're 95. There is a boat for you to do that. One of the greatest things is like you start off in off-D and then you can move into 420, but then as you become an adult, maybe a dinghy boat isn't quite for you anymore because they are really physically demanding. So maybe you move into a keel boat, and then you can move into a bigger keel boat, and then there's things like 2.4s, which are really cool, tiny little keel boats. There's a lot out there, and you can keep sailing for your entire life. So by putting me in sailing when I was younger, my mom really gave me the opportunity to be in a sport for the rest of my life. I'll be able to sail into my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, and I get to have the culture that comes along with that, because it's not just about the boat and the wind and the water, which is amazing, but it's also the community you get with it. You get friends, you get a club, you get people that are into the same thing as you and have the same interests, and to me that was an invaluable thing in life.
Now that you know what sailing's done for us,
we'd like to let you know what sailing can do for you and your children. On May 6th, we'll be in the office, and we're happy to take any calls that you have with questions regarding our programming. Also, if you ever have any questions and would like to know what we can do for you and your child, you can email us at sailing@waegwoltic.ca.